Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle. I'm here with yet another third-party Soundwave. Apparently he's a pretty popular character and they make a lot of them. This one is the Transphere Pocket Toys TS04 called Tuner.S. But whatever he is, he has the evil energy. Yes, he has evil energy because he's an evil Decepticon. So he'll fit right in with your false emperor. So I'm gonna break this out of the box. We're gonna take a look at this toy and his cassettes that he comes with, because he comes with cassettes, and you can see if it's worth it for your collection. Be right back. Before we break him out, I do want to point out my lovely Soundwave shirt. Say hello to my little friends. This is from 80stees.com. They have been kind enough to sponsor a bunch of videos on our channel. And you can get this shirt and many more, and not just Transformers shirts. G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Goonies, you name it. If it's from the 80s, they pretty much got it. And you can get 30% off your order with the coupon code TOYSPOTLIGHT80. So head over to 80stees.com and figure out exactly how you want to demonstrate your love of Transformers and the 80s to the world. All right, before I take it out, let's take a look at the box. It's got some nice artwork on the front. It shows Laserbeak right there, shows Soundwave with his gun, shows the toy on the side, and then more artwork with Tuner.S. And then it shows you all the different things, including a Ravage, so it's a nice box. Then there's a Warn, not available for age 0 to 3. No bracket included. So you have been warned. If you're 0 to 3, why are you watching? But don't give this to any 0 to 3-year-olds, unless they're exceptional. Then I'm not taking responsibility if you do. All right, let's pull him out, and we'll put that over there. He's a little bit bigger, apparently. Size there he is in his gleaming package. He's got instructions. He's a little bit bigger than the Legend size, I'd say. Just looking at him, just judging. I'll go grab a Legend size in a little bit. Calm down. But let's take him out and see what he's like. There he is. He looks like Soundwave. He comes with a gun and his shoulder cannon. So he's pretty cool. He also comes with these 3 cassettes, and we're gonna get into them later. That's interesting is there's apparently a Ravage, and he's thicker than Laserbeak or this other pink bird. I don't know. It's not Sundar, because Sundar's orange. But we'll get to the cassettes in a little bit. We'll put those over here. Kind of small. That's what he said. Anyway, so there is Soundwave, and it's a very posable little Soundwave. First of all, the legs, you can do a full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's gonna sue me one of these days. You can move the legs forward. Now he's got this little plate here that kind of interferes with going 100% forward, or the full 90-degree angle. So just be aware of that, but bends at the knee, they swivel. You can pretty much, put your left foot in, put your left foot out, put your left foot in, and shake it all about. You can do pretty much all kinds of poses with these feet. And they kind of have ankle rockers because the feet are on ball joints, so you can give them some dynamic poses. Now he does twist at the waist, so that's a kind of nice add to this. The arms are on these ball joint type things, so they can move in all kinds of directions, forward, back. You can twist the fists. Really nice amount of articulation for this size of a toy. Here's the latest Legend size next to him. As you can see, he's slightly taller, just a little bit. And the coloration, the Legend size is darker. Oh, by the way, his head, it can turn, so that's a nice thing. But the Legend size, yeah, it's darker blue. I'd say this evil energy version of Soundwave, it's a little more maybe cartoon accurate, whereas the Legend size is more toy accurate to the original. But yeah, just slight bit taller, but they're both similarly armed, which is a good thing. We may use you again, so chill. Yeah, not a ton of kibble on the back. You can see this like little backpack type area. You can see his buttons on his butt. I would not be pressing the buttons on his butt. Why am I pressing the buttons on his butt? But overall, a nice version of Soundwave. Now, if you press down on this eject button, nothing happens. It doesn't move. But you can actually flip out his chest, and you can put in Ravage. Let's get him in there. Now, getting him in the right way, use a thicker of them, is not as easy as you might think. But he gets in there. So now he's got Ravage in his chest. You say Ravage eject, and shake him out. Now you can definitely pull him out. There he goes. We're gonna take a look at these more in depth pretty soon, don't you worry. Now, Laserbeak, I think goes in there a little more easily, just because Laserbeak is not as thick. Could be wrong though, or I could just be fumble fingers. And it appears that you can put the other bird transformer in, and it just fits. So you can put 2 cassettes in there at once, and then they can eject, though Laserbeak seems to not want to come out. It does kind of go flush in there, so you might need to do a little shaking to get Laserbeak out. I don't know that I would be leaving Laserbeak in there anyway, because, you know, I like to display all my bots. But so there's a minus though. Once you get Laserbeak in there in the back, it can be kind of hard to get Laserbeak out. Before I get into the cassette player mode of Soundwave here, let's take a look at these cassettes. And we're gonna really need to zoom. They are small. So this is the Ravage cassette. Like I said, he's thicker than the others, but you can flip him open. It is not a super complex transformation, but it's actually pretty clever because you have these 2 halves that come together to form his head. And there he is in his Jaguar Panther. I think he's supposed to be a Jaguar, but the coloration makes me think more Panther. And despite the fact that it's really, really small, there's a lot of detailing on him. In fact, there's a little part of him that I'm having trouble getting out. And I'm gonna use a little screwdriver because there it is. He even has a tail. See, right there's his tail. Because it's dark, I'm gonna put my hand to kind of show the contrast. But yeah, he is amazingly detailed for the very small size. The cassettes themselves are a hair less than an inch on the long side. And this guy, once he's transformed with his tail out, slightly more than an inch, and height-wise, about 8/10 of an inch. So these are really, really complex for their minuscule size. I'm kind of impressed. Do you have evil energy? So Laserbeak here, transformation is, again, not exactly complex. And Laserbeak is not nearly the same type of complexity as Ravage. Basically, fold out the wings, bring out the beak, and there's Laserbeak. Little engines on the back. There are no feet on the bottom. But, you know, it's, again, a very small transforming cassette. Now this one threw me because at first I'm like, oh, pink, it must be Ratbat. But it's not. This is actually just another bird. Trying to get in focus here. It's very shiny, but it's just a pink version of Laserbeak. So since it's not gold, it can't be Buzzsaw. So there it is. Now, when I was young, and that's a long time ago, sonny. When I was young, I came up with some ideas for additional Transformers and came up with names for them. And I had a whole subgroup that changed into media and communication devices called the Communicons. And a new bird transformer was called Vulture, as in vulture instead of vulture. So this could be Vulture, or it could be, what other kind of neat names can we have for a thing that's not Buzzsaw, it's not Laserbeak, it's Wing Cutter. I don't know. Let's go with Vulture for now. If you have ideas of a name for this particular pink version of Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, please leave them in the comments. But yeah, these are pretty cool little cassettes. But now back to the main event. Soundwave, who fell over? So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit because we're not focused quite so tightly. And I did actually transform this before, but I do want to refer to the instructions. A lot of these third-party things, one, the instructions are usually not too bad, but there's a lot of exacting things with these third-party Transformers, and usually the Hasbro ones are pretty easy to figure out. Some of these can be a little more difficult. That's why they have the Just Transform It videos online, which have been very handy. So shout out to them. But let's get him into tape player mode. So there he is in tape player mode, and I have to say the transformation is pretty clever. First of all, the head actually folds into his back, which is kind of neat. It's like right there, right there. And the weapon storage is on his back, kind of like batteries, but not in a battery cover. And the hands can actually hook into them for more stability. And this little piece is like an antenna. So, you know, radio stations and stuff. And he's very solid in this mode. Looks very nice. Tape player opens. Yeah, I'm not putting any of those in right now. It's actually very, very clever. I really like the transformation and the alt mode on this. Definitely reminiscent. All we need is put a little itty bitty Decepticon symbol right on there, and he's good to go. When compared side by side with the Legends version, they're actually almost identical in size. In fact, oddly, the Legends from Hasbro is a little bit wider. So, kind of see that. So they're very similar looking tape decks. These two little feet tips sticking up here, you know, they could have hidden it a little bit better, as you can see with this one. They have similar weapon storage. Weapons go onto the back here of the Legends. And of course, I already showed you the back of the Evil Energy version. The Transphere. Sounds like someone's afraid of trans people, which they're just people. Now, there is a little itty bitty cassette that comes with the Legends one. It does not transform, it's just a piece of plastic. So comparing the two, I would say Evil Energy seems to be a pretty good version compared to the Legend size. So there you have both side by side, but I'm really liking this Evil Energy Transphere Pocket Toys, whatever you want to call it, third-party version of Soundwave. And no, I'm not texting. I'm looking up exactly what I paid for this Soundwave. Now, I did get him a while ago, so hopefully the price has not changed. It's gone up slightly. It's currently $22 for this guy. $22 when you compare it to a lot of the basics we're getting now. I mean, some of them are $19.99, I think. Some of them are, you know, $14.99, but still $22. I think it's a great value. You get a very posable and great transforming Soundwave. You get 3 cassettes as opposed to getting just Soundwave and a non-transforming cassette. So totally up to you, but there are so many versions of Soundwave out there, it's hard to say which to actually get. And again, if you're a Soundwave lover, this might be the shirt for you. Say hello to my little friends, and there's little friends right there. And again, go to 80stees.com, coupon code TOYSPOTLIGHT80. You can get awesome shirts, 30% off. Go for it. And if you're also going to get Transformers, then while you're mulling this one over, there's another version of Soundwave over here that I recently reviewed that you might want to check out. But he's in gold, the Golden Lagoon style Soundwave. And of course, like, share, comment. We love that stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.